And now we have our, what we're referring to as our spotlight presentations, which have been very well received. And today we have Elizabeth Luskin. She's our EVP for Small Business and Technology, and she is going to report on the State Small Business Credit Initiative progress.
So I'm Liz Luskin. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Division of Small Business and Technology Development, as you know. 4 of the 5 subdivisions of SBDT have been involved in working on SSBCI, and that includes Capital Access, Venture, NYSTAR, and Entrepreneur Development. And as promised previously, we are back with a progress update on the rollout of the programs, the SSBCI programs that the board has approved. Just as a reminder, President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan Act in March of 21, which included $10 billion to fund the State Small Business Credit Initiative. This is managed by the U.S. Department of Treasury, and the SSBCI funds programs for small business, including socially and economically disadvantaged individuals, as Ray just mentioned, owned businesses, and very small businesses, to recover from the economic effects of COVID-19. Governor Hochul designated Empire State Development to apply for New York State's allocated funds and to implement the programs under SSBCI. And last summer, Treasury approved our final application and provided an allocation agreement, which the ESD board approved our executing. Our total expected allocation under this program is $501.6 million, split into 3 categories. The main allocation of $377 million for our debt and equity programs, an additional 81.2 focused for SETI businesses in those programs, and then a bonus if we meet our goals of 43.4 for an additional SETI incentive. As a reminder, this is a 10-year program, which is we will leverage 10 times over all the programs for a total economic impact of $5 billion across the state. We've received our initial tranche of $151 million. We will receive 2 other tranches, assuming we meet our goals and deploying the prior tranche and meeting our SETI goals. And if we do all of that, the total amounts for those will be $172 million and $174 million. As we are funding programs with this money per the requirements that provide capital access, loan guarantees, loan participation, collateral support, and venture capital per the statute. We have broken this into 10 programs. 6 of them are on the debt side, totaling $282 million, managed by Ray and the Capital Access team. There are 4 equity programs, 3 managed by New York Ventures and 1 by the NYSTAR team. And while these programs support all qualifying businesses, they do have, as mentioned, a specific focus on SETI and very small businesses, which is less than 10 employees. All program information, including what I'm going to share with you, is on our website, and you can sign up for updates and program on the programs as they continue to roll out. But also, I will mention lists of lenders and application portals. All of those things are available on the ESD website. So we're going to go through quickly each of the programs.
No, Debbie.
Okay.
Okay.
I did. I closed everything down, and I keep going back in. I closed it down.
Put your phone on mute.
Back in.
We once again ask, shelter in place.
So I go down here.
Unless it is absolutely necessary to leave the building.
So that's a shelter in space, but I think we were hearing something else.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. So I'm going to go quickly through all 10 programs. First, the 6 debt programs. So the first is the Capital Projects Loan Fund, which provides direct loans for the growth of manufacturing and other eligible businesses by financing, acquiring, and renovating existing buildings or constructing new ones, or for the purchase of machinery and equipment. Various economic development projects across New York State are being evaluated by the Capital Access team, and they will make project financing awards on appropriate projects on a rolling basis and bring them in for approval. Next, the Small Business Revolving Loan Fund provides shorter-term microloans and loans typically under $250,000 to address inequitable capital access for new companies, underbanked communities, and small businesses. 16 lenders will be participating in the program, and the program, all the program funding is currently committed. Companies can apply for loans starting at the end of April. The New York Forward Loan Fund, thank you very much for just now approving that. This provides flexible, low-interest loans for small businesses of up to $150,000, underwritten by 5 originating CDFIs, as Ray mentioned. We're working with Calvert Small Business to finalize the agreement with the CDFIs and get the portal up, which, as Ray mentioned, should be up and running by May 2023 for businesses to apply. The Capital Access Program provides matching funds to financial institutions for loan loss reserves as an incentive to increase small business lending in New York State. 9 lenders have already signed up to participate.
Nope,
And
still not screaming.
6 more are in process. The program is now open to borrowers who apply to lenders that are listed on the ESD website. I just want to remind everyone that all these programs now have been approved by the board over the course of the last few months. Our next 2 programs are particularly related to contractors doing business on government projects. So the Contractor Financing Revolving Loan Fund provides funding by participating lenders to contractors in need of working capital to work on federal, state, and local government-related contracts. Contractors can now apply to our current list of 6 lenders. And also our bonding guarantee program provides financial assistance to help contractors secure surety bonding to be able to bid on government-related capital projects. 1 company has already signed up for the program agreements and to begin working with contractors, and we are working on signing up 2 additional ones. The program is now open for contractors to apply who are in need of bonding. Moving on now to our equity programs. You did hear about these with Jennifer Teagan's spotlight presentation on New York Ventures at last month's board meeting. But just to remind everyone, there are 4. The first 2 programs are focused on funding the funders of the ecosystem, and the next 2 are direct equity investments in companies. First, we have the Emerging and Regional Partner Program Fund. This is where we will be investing in diverse fund managers or with managers who will use the funds to invest in areas of New York State where venture capital is less readily available. We are currently interviewing a strong pool of applicants, and this is a rolling application. The first set of recommendations should be to the board by the end of the second quarter. Next, we have our Community and Regional Partner Program Fund. This one is managed by NYSTAR. We are providing funding for accelerators or other similar mentor-based programs to provide equity investments in high-growth New York State companies that are participating in those accelerator programs. Prospective programs apply via an RFA on our website, and NYSTAR conducts a selection process, and this application is also monthly enrolling. We had 8 applicants so far, 5 are in the second stage of review, and we're expecting to present our first awards by the April ESD board meeting. Next, the 2 direct investments. Again, as you heard last month, we are putting additional funding into our New York Innovation Venture Capital Fund, which focuses on seed to Series B, $250,000 to about $3 million dollar investments, and the ventures team will make their first recommendations by Q2 to the board there. And we also have launched our extremely popular pre-seed and seed matching fund. This is for equity investments of under $250,000 in venture-backable startup companies at the earliest stage of their development. It's a competitive application process, and applicants are evaluated to assess the likelihood of their venture scalability. We've had over 1,000 inbound requests, and the pre-seed webpage has also been the #1 visited page on the ESD website this year. The team is currently evaluating over 300 applications and will make the first recommendations for the fund by the end of Q2. So all of this information is on the ESD website, as I mentioned. Sorry, I just lost my page there. Oh dear, what happened there? There we go. There's a detailed information on each program on how to apply, the participating lenders, and so on. As mentioned, you can also sign up for updates on programs as additional lenders are added or portals open up. We also, to help businesses, funds, and lenders find the programs most suited to them and what they're looking for help with the help of the marketing department, we created a widget tool with just a few easy questions. This is similar to what was created for the COVID-19 relief programs. We are working very hard to get the word out in a variety of ways, and happy to share that the SSBCI flyer was just translated into the 12 most commonly requested languages. I want to give an enormous thank you to the Capital Access, Venture, NISTAR, and Entrepreneur Development teams for their dedicated, creative, and diligent work in securing these funds and developing and implementing this suite of programs. And thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Great. Thank you so much, Liz. These 10 programs, do we, as we try to promote and market them and educate people on them, do we also share that information with all the lenders as they are determining the creditworthiness of their applicants? And do we get them trying to encourage their applicants to participate in our programs too?
Yes, we both do, we do education with those we work directly with, but we also work with, here, I'll just close, if we need a page, I'll go back, but we work with.
Thank you, I was going to get my sunglasses out.
That's okay, sorry. We also work with associations of lenders of, both the community development, financial institutions, the banking association, small banking association. So we are working across all kinds of lenders to make sure that people are aware of this. We're also working with chambers, the regional offices, our entrepreneur assistance centers, every conference we can go to, and sharing this information very widely and doing webinars with groups that require specific, more detailed information on the kinds of programs that they would be helping people interact with.
And all 10 programs are being financed, again, through federal funds that we are in the process of receiving, as you said, the first tranche, hopefully more to come.
Yes, that is the 501, but as Ray mentioned, and I mentioned, we leverage that money with matching capital from private institutions or with other investors in the equity investments. So that 500 million over the 10 years will translate into 5 billion.
Right.
And also, we revolve a lot of these funds, so we continue to lend them multiple times.
And are they all for small businesses? And how do we describe a small business? Through amount of employees or revenues or both?
Both. It depends on the program.
No, I know the federal government,
Yeah.
During the COVID, when they were giving out the PPP loans, they describe a small business as 500 or, I know in most of the communities throughout the state, we view small businesses as something a lot smaller.
Right. 100 and smaller is often used. For some of the, we have a special incentive to also focus on very small businesses, so that's 10 and under.
Got it.
Sorry, under 10. So the hope is to focus as much as possible on very small businesses and socially and economically disadvantaged individual-owned businesses, which is both geographic economic disadvantage as well as your personal characteristics. But the programs are open to all small businesses.
Great. Any other questions? Phyllis?
I just want to mention that thanks to Ray, and we have a small business technical assistant seminar next week. And Ray is sending someone to do a presentation about the program. So.
Great to hear.
Great.
And that's it. It's getting the word out and promoting these. And do we feel confident we're going to be able to move all the money? That's not going to be an issue?
Well, the need is certainly there,
Right.
And we're doing everything possible to make the application processes as simple and easy as possible, and we will continue to aggressively promote, but yes, we will.
Great.
We don't want to leave any money on the table.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz. That was great, and we appreciate you and your staff and the presentation.